so they're beating the child?
Yeah, nothing. It was crying, just normal. Check the baby, pick up the clothes, happy.
I like that. Maybe the baby's got colic.
No, yeah, that's true. I explained that to the lady. She just like, I called CAS. Like, sure.
Okay.
Go right ahead. Make sure our notes are reflected.
Is there nothing on? Oh shit.
Some of her stupid lady.
Almost as bad as his dog came on that neighbor's lawn and now she's following.
Oh my god.
You hear that neighbor?
Yeah, I heard.
They were following a woman who let her dog pee on her lawn.
No, she didn't let. Yeah, the dog owner let the dog pee on the
tree.
person's property. And then now the person is following.
Because the dog peed on her property.
Yeah, and they're in pursuit.
Wow.
They're on pursuit. I have the suspect. He's wagging his tail. Look.
I'm gonna stop and talk to you guys earlier.
Yeah.
People walking puppies.
Oh, yeah.
I always want to pull over. My butt has some. Oops.
Excuse me. Sorry. Oh yeah, one more. One
You
last
gonna
thing.
shut that off soon?
Yeah, I was just backing up some files.
So I belong to this wine club because my sister lives in Nova Scotia and there's only, so it's a sparkling wine from Nova Scotia and I love it. And it's hard, sometimes it's hard to get at the LCBO.
Yeah.
Because once they make, I don't know, 1,000 bottles and then they run out. So
Specialty, eh?
it's just sparkling wine. It's like low alcohol, but it's delicious. So they have a wine club. And so I joined the wine club. And on the weekend, they posted on Instagram that at the NSLC, which is the Nova Scotia Liquor Corporation, if you buy, it's the most popular wine in Nova Scotia. It was like a once-off they thought they'd do because they make more wines that have to sit and ripen for years. And I thought we'll do this sort of fresh wine, and it's super popular. It's by far their biggest seller. So if you go to the NSLC, and if you buy a bottle, you'll get these 2 stemless wine glasses. So I said on Instagram, it's like, oh, why are you doing that here?
Yeah.
I said, I'm a member of the wine club even. And then they private messaged me and they said, oh, we're gonna email you or we'll reach out to you. And so they said, because I get 6 bottles every 3 months.
Oh wow. So they're like.
And they're gonna send me a couple of the wine glasses.
Sweet.
Like they sell that wine in the cans too.
Yeah.
In Nova Scotia, like 250 ml cans.
How much do they go?
The wine is $25 per bottle. It's like literally when I go there, we stop because there's like a silly.
Good news? Oh my god. Was it?
You ever
Red
go out
tape,
there?
eh?
What?
You ever go out there?
Oh yeah, I love it. I remember I went there as a kid and my sister's husband got transferred there almost 6 years ago. I thought, well, I'm going to see my nieces and nephew, blah, blah, blah. I love going. The last couple of years I've gone twice a year. I go on March break so I can spend time. The older sister and I go with my younger sister. And then last year, through a comedy of errors, I had a voucher I had to use before the following March break. So I went in September for 2 weeks last year, and my sister and I had a blast.
Oh,
So much fun. Like we went to this, we went on a wine tour. She was driving, so I drank as much as I fucking wanted.
it's a different way of
Because I
life.
belong to this wine club, if you go to the winery, you get a free glass. I got a little can. I had it on my body armor. It's like a little bottle to see if anybody'd ever noticed. One person actually noticed.
Is it cheaper?
No, it's the wine's the exact same price here as it is in Nova Scotia.
No, with everything else, like food and.
I don't know.
It's
Like
surprise.
the seafood is unbelievably fresh. It's not cheap, but it's so fresh. It really does taste different.
A long time ago, we had when I was
Jerry?
in high school.
Yeah.
Rugby game in Nova
Can I
Scotia.
also ask you for the key to the
Right.
machine?
Oh yeah.
I am working on trying to get you a space in one of our hotel programs.
Mhm.
would you be willing to go to the new Edward, I think it's called? Unfortunately, it's on Finch.
It's on Finch.
I believe it's on Finch.
Finch and
There's, as I said, the one that I drive by all the time, it's on Yorkland Boulevard though. That's the actual
Finch
address.
is where?
At the 401 and the 404, Don Mills, or Don Valley and the 401.
That may be the one.
Finch is like
Okay.
another one
Yeah,
north,
I
so.
could have been told the wrong thing. But if I am able to get you a spot there, would you be willing to take it?
possibly.
It'd be a hotel, it'd be a single room, meal program as per. Not that you accept meals.
Well, my biggest concern is the same thing that happened at the last shelter, and the shelter before that, and the shelter before that, and now here. That like I was told that it was going to be addressed for here,
It's not a hotel, you're not, it's
and
not a shelter, it's a hotel.
it's not. It hasn't been addressed.
Well, I have to say that the behavior that you did here you will not survive in any
Well,
shelter or.
that is
hotel program or-
that is the behavior that you're going to receive from me when I get the behavior from your staff like that. Yeah, every time.
So I cannot make promises. about the other
Well,
program?
Steven made promises against it, and you guys didn't follow through. Because, like, what was the one thing that I asked? Was a crisis plan done?
Mhm.
What crisis plan was done?
Well, I worked with Simon on whatever I could. I
But
worked on getting Simon
but
access to here,
but
which
the
he was-
staff aren't.
Siri, we have 3 shifts a day.
That's-
We have 4, we have 4 staff, 6 staff a day.
That is perfectly
security.
fine. That is perfectly fine. If you have that many staff and you have this many clients here that have mental health problems, then you should definitely have crisis plans in place.
Siri, this is the time of COVID. I've got
It-
people
this is-
working here
this
for the
is-
Toronto Parks
this
and
is-
Recreation
this
in
is
the
not-
Parkland County.
This is not stuff that then that's especially more of a reason to have crisis plans in place. Is if you have people that don't even normally work the shelter system, then they should not be addressing crisis situations, which they tried to. And I appreciate their intentions, I fully do, they just want to try and do good. But if you're not trained to deal with it, if you don't know what's wrong with the person, then that's it.
Well, we dealt with it as best that we were able at the time.
No, you guys didn't deal with it at all.
Well, that's
Because,
not true.
really, so your staff called Simon.
I've been calling Simon. I talked to Simon.
I agree,
An hour ago.
but you
I
called
talked to Simon
You-
yesterday.
You
the other
called,
day.
you called Simon, I agree. You called Simon, that's not what was stated though. That's not what was stated. What was stated was the staff that are here dealing with me are the ones that are supposed to be calling Simon.
Well, the staff is emailing me and I'm engaging Simon.
And-
And that's the best sometimes that we can do because I only work 8 hours a day.
And this is why I stated that a plan of how to deal with me needed to be written down. I expressed how to deal with me many times, but it wasn't written down. I had a couple staff tell me that it was verbally communicated, and the staff that should have written it down at the time didn't. So that's not on me. I've expressed this many times. I expressed this even before I came here. This was stated before I even came here. That's the point where I'm getting super frustrated with it. It's not like this was brought up after the fact I came here. No, all of these things was stated before I came here.
Well, the effort and the hope was to try and be able to manage it.
But
And the effort and the hope was to try and have you get off of the street or out of
But-
the ravine,
but you
which we were able to do. However,
but you're stating that you made contact with Simon and whatnot a week or two ago. That was supposed to be done 2 months ago. It should have been done 2 months ago, months
I've been
ago.
addressing it. I've been talking to MDOT. I've been talking to South Riverdale. I've been looking to get you some mental health support. I've been trying to get a hold of your ODSP worker to try and get you your medical stuff. So it's not like things aren't being done, Jerry.
But-
It's just
but-
unfortunate that things didn't happen as fast as you
But
needed them to.
But You guys literally discharged me after 20 minutes later after calling for mental health support. You guys didn't call these guys last week. You guys didn't call these guys the week before.
Derek, we pulled staff off of you for days.
But that's my
Friday,
this is my point
Thursday.
here. Of I've been in a mental health crisis for the last 2 weeks, and this is the first time these officers have been here.
Well, yes, because we've tried to
That-
avoid.
And that's my
interaction.
point, and that's where I stated from the beginning of that's not an option. Of if I'm in a mental health crisis, hurting myself, doing all this sort of damage, that these guys need to be called. I stated that from day one. I stated that from day one, that there's gonna be times when I'm gonna be so far out of it, you're gonna have to call these guys for help.
Mhm. And we
And
felt that
you
we had
didn't
reached
you
that-
didn't do that. You didn't do that. You didn't do that. 2 weeks later, this is the first time these guys have
Can I
talked
ask
to
a
me.
question, Jerry?
I'm
Can I ask a question?
yes, sorry.
Okay, you're,
I'm flabbergasted. Sorry.
what, that I wanna ask?
No, not
Oh.
you know, I'm saying I'm flabbergasted of like I don't even know if that's the right word. I'm just frustrated
Oh,
and
obviously,
and
right,
I've been
and
taking
that's
it out on the
understandable.
wrong people.
But, okay, you're saying that this wasn't done, this wasn't done, this wasn't done. Fair enough, but I get the sense that you've got to at some point let go of that and move forward and figure out a new plan. Like, if you've gotten to the point for a variety of reasons that they're asking you to leave, but I'm worried that you're just gonna say, well, this wasn't done, this wasn't done, this wasn't done, this wasn't done, and is that gonna help you? I'm not saying that you don't pretend it didn't happen. I'm asking a question. I'm not telling you at all what to think or do.
But the fact of the matter is,
This wouldn't have happened if that had been addressed, is that what you mean?
yeah,
But the
Fair enough.
and it was made clear to me that these things wasn't going to happen even before I came here. The first couple weeks that I was here, it was stated that we'll work this out, sort this out within a week. We'll have it sorted out because I sat down with the supervisors within the first couple weeks and stated that I got a week of patience of this left.
And sorry, when did you arrive here?
That was 2 months ago.
2 months ago.
So after 2 weeks, so by the third week of me being here, I said that I was out of patience.
Okay.
Then the supervisor went on vacation. I did my damnedest to hold my patience for those couple weeks. He came back. That was like a month ago-ish. Could be like 3 weeks, but it was 3 weeks a month ago, and I've been trying to get these things addressed ever since.
Yeah, please over here, go ahead. I guess the thing is that they're obviously gonna say, we did this, that, and the other. You don't feel it met your needs, and that's perfectly reasonable. But yeah, I guess it's the sort of thing, you guys can
All
both,
of
you can
this-
say, but you can say this wasn't addressed, and they said, we tried doing this, you're still left at the same point.
I know, but what I'm trying to say is all of this on the wall behind you, that didn't happen today. That didn't happen today. That's been going on for like 2 weeks of me freaking the fuck out. And they've been refusing to call for help. I hurt
You mean call us?
yeah,
Okay.
I hurt myself last week. Actually hurt
Why
myself.
didn't you just call 911?
Yeah.
Because if you go back and look up the OIPRD report, you'll see why. Every
Well, I
time
can't
We
look at
don't have
it.
access to that.
That's a different entity, I can't.
Then I'll express it to you. The last time I'll be honest with you.
Oh, you've had negative encounters, so you don't want to?
No, I'm
But you want.
I wanna have a
the
little
call?
heart to heart with you right quick because I'm actually sorry.
Good news?
We're still waiting.
Oh.
Apparently, the shelter the hotel that we had you referred to, you're unfortunately restricted from that agency, Salvation Army.
Oh,
It's been over 3 months.
sounded so promising.
They said that you're restricted. We're looking into something else right at the moment. We just got the word.
Okay.
Ken, security took over since he's been very compliant. Like we escorted him off the premises and.
Let me speak to the supervisor.
Yeah.
I'm about to walk off.
Yeah.
Brent, if you just step I'm just gonna
He
finish.
wants to explain something to
Oh,
us, so.
my apologies.
No, it's okay.
That's
So-
okay, sorry.
I'm not good at expressing how I feel or talking to people. I've never have been. We've had conversations in the past that haven't turned out too well because I can't keep my shit together, and you obviously don't have patience for it. That's nothing wrong with you, nothing wrong with me, it's
No,
just,
my patience isn't limitless, unfortunately.
I understand that, we're all human at the end of the day. So, I understand that you have 2 million people to consider in this city.
3.
3 million now?
Yeah,
Okay,
three.
so 3
Anyway,
So
regardless.
so you can't know everything, and I don't take that into consideration at times, and I for some reason feel that you should have all the information.
When I was
know.
asking you where is that you're talking about, I was being genuine,
Yeah,
because I don't understand what you're talking about,
I
but my
understand.
timing sucked obviously too.
It wasn't so much your timing, it was more the tone, and is your frustrations paired with my frustrations, and like I said, I don't consider other people at times. When I get stuck inside my head and I become very selfish, I think is the
No,
best word for it.
That's understandable.
So our last encounter last year at the library, I had these drug dealers and meth heads and stuff bothering me left, right, and center, constantly robbing me, beating me up. Your officers didn't do anything. I called for help multiple times.
Do you remember do you remember the officer's names? Was it Curry and Hardcastle maybe?
I can't.
Okay, I just thought you might know, don't worry.
Widmeyer, Lenny,
Oh,
and
Whitmire and
Thomas.
Letty, that's right, I remember.
Those three actually
Okay.
did what they could do
Yeah.
at the times that they were there. They weren't always the ones that responded when I called for help.
Because okay,
Right? Like they don't work 24/7.
no,
Right? Like so I understand that. So but the officers that did attend, the one guy there I even said that like, look, there's a camera there, he's been selling drugs here, he just tried to fight me, I fended him off with my saw. I was there working on my trailer and stuff, he attacked me, I ended up had the saw in my hand the whole time when he attacked me, so that's a good freaking, like, I didn't pick up the saw to attack him or anything like that, but at the time the officers were like, I'm just like, well, at least take his bloody name because this has been going on for time, you guys can check your cameras, that like, he's out here selling drugs, it's clear as day. And they didn't bother to take his name because he did some issues afterwards, and when Kyle was there, I do remember the one officer that I had the issue with, he basically, when I asked him, well, what's Justin's last name, because I know the first name of the guy, his first name's Justin, I'm like, well, what's the last name, you're supposed to take his info, and he's like, oh, I didn't take his info, he didn't show up and stuff like that, I'm just like, the heck are you lying for? And so there's that going on, and what ended up happening was these guys chased me down to the dawn and they beat the fuck out of me to where I ended up in the hospital. And then the police again, it was 51 division this time, that was for that area though. This wasn't on your division, so I'm not gonna hold you accountable for it.
no.
But 51 division basically refused to do it, and currently right now the OIPRD is asking them going, why? Like there's significant damage on this guy, needed I think it was like 4 or 5 staples on this side and then another 3 staples over here. I had the guys.
So you were injured and they didn't take a report? Okay.
And then about 3 weeks after that, I had a guy rob me on camera. I had my helmet cam on at the time. You can actually go to YouTube and watch it on YouTube right now. The police still haven't done anything about it, and the guy's yelling at his actual name at me. The OIPRD are still currently looking into that. I don't get actions from your officers when I call for help.
Okay.
Most homeless people don't get actions from your officers when we call for help, because most of your officers, whether you want to admit it or not, look at us and tell us you're homeless. Like if you're a business or something, we could do something for it. But you're not worth our time. You're a waste of our time.
I think it's actually the opposite. Unfortunately, homeless people can take up a lot of our time. So there's 3 of us here, and please understand where I'm coming from. We've been here for an hour and a half at least.
Yeah,
And this is my point, is that some interactions with people experiencing homelessness, they can be very repetitive, very frequent, and they are not, we're honestly trying to find, I went in there to speak to them to ask and sort of say, can this guy plead his case? And they said, we've already decided to discharge him. And I said, really? I said, he's not gonna obviously be happy in that. And they said, no, it's fine. So, and that's the problem. It's not that we don't care about homeless people, and homeless people's problems are usually very complex and multifaceted, and that there's no quick fix, and everybody likes a quick fix.
Well, this is where I state that we have the problem of stating that we have a homeless person problem, because we don't have a homeless person problem. You guys are criminal officers. You should not be here right now dealing
Well,
with.
it's not that, we don't just deal with
Let me
criminals,
finish my statement,
but we're
please.
not criminal officers, so.
But essentially, ideally, you guys should be dealing with criminal
Okay,
stuff.
fair enough.
This is, I'm just trying to make a point.
Yeah, okay.
At the end of the day, you guys shouldn't be here. A mental health worker of some sort should be here. A mental health team of some sort should be here. Not people with guns and thousands of dollars worth of gear on them, but somebody who knows how to use their head and use their words and problem solve. Like, we don't need, like you said, it's like, he seems pretty calm, like, can't we get the security deal with this? That's exactly it. Right? Like, this is where I was getting a little bit frustrated, because like, after you guys have determined that my mental health stuff, I'm not going to the hospital, I'm fine, your job was essentially done, you're deciding to discharge me, there's a process to that, right? So you guys don't even need to be here for that process, because that process can take a while. That the appeals process is exactly that. Me and whatever supervisors are in charge sit down and talk about the issues and make a plan and determination of how to go forward. And that is to happen before on any decision.
But that guy isn't in charge though.
The person I was talking to on the phone.
Steven is no
that-
longer in charge.
You gotta move to a different position.
So that wasn't just Steven on the phone.
It was initially,
It was initially, yes.
and then he called in.
But he called in his partner.
Here.
So there's the Streets to Homes is a board of many heads. So the program directors, they are all equal and they all communicate and do each other and stuff like that. Stephen oversights this program. So yes, Mark and Victor oversight this program, but Stephen oversights them. Stephen is their boss.
I thought Brent said that Steven has moved and he's no longer in charge of this part of the program.
No, he's not in charge of this program.
Yes,
He's in charge of those people.
okay.
So he doesn't oversight the program, he oversights the people oversighting the program. Does that make sense to you?
No, unfortunately, I've gotten
I'm
lost.
And this is where my frustrations for
Yeah,
making
no kidding.
complaints with Streets to Homes come into play. This is where I said it's a little bit of a corrupt organization.
Well,
because
I
it's
was, just
making
by
my
listening to
points.
you and the amount of years I've been doing this, I think there has to be a better way for you to advocate for yourself and to, because like, I mean, now you can't go to a Salvation Army program and stuff like that. Like, it sounds like you're having issues with a whole bunch of different places and you're gonna end up on the,
Street.
living on the streets again, and you are not gonna have that sweet setup
Yeah.
on the streets, so
No, I got a spot, actually a pretty decent spot.
where are you gonna go?
I'm heading back down to the Don.
So like on Rosedale Valley Road?
No, not on Rosedale.
Where?
Don River. I got-
Like, south of the Leaside Bridge?
Like outside.
No, like on the river.
But I mean, that's what I mean, on the banks of the river, if you look north, you see the Leaside Bridge? Or do you see the Bloor Viaduct?
I have a kayak, so I literally go on the river.
With
Where
all
do
the
you
stuff.
keep a kayak?
Yeah.
Come on, like really?
Yeah.
Where do you have a kayak?
Has multiple properties.
Do you belong to the yacht club or something? or-
Actually, my application to the yacht club
It's
is
still under review?
pending.
Yeah. Where do you, no, seriously, where do you keep a kayak?
It's at a storage locker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got a storage unit and stuff like that.
So you have a storage unit too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's half my frustrations too, because I ain't broke. I don't do hard drugs. Like there's
Yeah,
no
but
reason.
you also said earlier, you haven't been under a doctor's care for 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
You have a bunch of, not, I don't wanna say the problems, but you have issues.
Oh, they are problems.
But there are issues that could possibly be helped with medical intervention. Oh, I guess I find, why would you, again, I'm not trying to sound judgy, but why would you not take help to make those sorts of things better? Your quality of life would be better, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'd be a lot happier.
Because they they don't offer the help. How to word
Gotta
it?
see the security.
So there's this program called MDOT, multi
Yes.
discipline. So those people, I can show you the.
But it sounds like that they've,
I can show you.
They discharged you, but they're considering taking you back, is
They
that?
discharged me because I made a complaint because for 8 months straight, they said that they're gonna do stuff and rescheduled me for next week and every
For
time.
8 months,
For 8, that's what I'm saying, I can show you the emails, the text messages, everything, for 8
why
months
would they
straight.
put you off for 8 months?
They've been, the streets of Holmes have been putting me off for 2 years now.
I guess, I just don't, I don't know,
Next
like,
week,
that,
next
that's,
week,
I'm
next
not,
week.
I'm not saying I don't believe you, but that sounds absolutely ridiculous to me, like, I don't understand how that happens.
Hence
Okay,
the
so
hole
Brent's
through the
back?
wall.
Oh, okay, I think we're gonna leave.
I'm gonna walk out with you guys. Because they got my key, I don't have anything else here. I'm gonna have to go find a spot, go buy a tent and stuff like that, so. Well,
Are you
wait
taking that
outside.
bag? That's
Yeah,
fine.
I'm taking this one bag with me.